Hi, it's me again, and I come to you today with the least surprising story of them all. Look at the headline for this and tell me if you're surprised. BBC to love bomb Labour if it wins election amid fear over licence fee review. Why would the BBC bite the hand that feeds it? It's been kissing the Conservatives' arse for years now, so I was just going to kiss Labour's arse for a few more years. Same as it would kiss Reform's arse if they got in a slim chance. But it still would, even though it's been against them the whole time. If they got into power, you'd soon find them loving up together. Labour will end rows over bias, insiders hope, with BBC to sell itself to Starmer as soft power weapon. There's that phrase again. Lucy Fraser, who was the current, and not for long, Culture and Media Secretary. Actually, by the time you watch this, it should be gone, won't she? Because it's the 4th today, it's voting day today. This won't be on today, blah, blah, blah. She kept using the phrase soft power weapon. Is the BBC for the great British people to educate, inform and entertain? Or is it a soft power weapon for use around the world selling government propaganda? What one is it? If it's the propaganda one, then we need to be ending the licence fee today, because I am not getting involved. I don't want anyone spending any money on government propaganda. If you want to put your propaganda out of government, pay for it your bloody selves. Why tax the good people of Britain £169.50 per household to put your bloody propaganda out? All right, that set me off earlier than I thought. Let's at least read in a bit, shall we? Staffers are counting down the days to a potential Labour election victory, which they believe is set to transform the political environment in which the BBC operates and liberate the broadcaster from rows over bias. Yeah, because if it's really, really biased towards Labour, Labour aren't going to say anything about that, are they? There's a giddy feeling of liberation coming, said one news staffer. The Tory boot is being lifted from the BBC's throat. It's like the end of an antagonistic relationship. What boot was this then? All right, you got your licence fee knocked back for a few years, like held in place, but you've just had a raise, the BBC. What Tory boot? What Tory boot was this? Nadine Dorries was a bit anti-BBC, but Boris wasn't, so nothing was going to happen there. And then you had Lucy Fraser, who was pro-BBC and said it's a great soft power herself, and she said she liked the BBC. She said it was great for the country. Where's this Tory boot? BBC news staffer? Where is it? Newly elected Labour MPs and ministers will be love-bombed by the corporation over the summer, the Eye has been told. There'll be lots of invites to the BBC's box at the proms, predicts one old hand. Is that not a gift? Are they allowed to accept gifts in kind like that? Does that sound moral to you? Should an MP be accepting stuff from the national broadcaster for free like that? No. But they will. The shadow secretary for State, Culture and Media and Sport, which could possibly be, again, I don't know the result yet because it's Thursday, not Friday when I'm filming this, but this Thangham Debonair, quite a cool name to be fair, could be the new Culture, Media Secretary and Sports soon. Recently said, I love the BBC. It's one of our best exports, both as a brand as in a commercial product. She dismissed rows over impartiality, saying the myth of objectivity is overblown. So that's Labour's stance on the whole thing. The BBC, they love the BBC. It's one of their best exports. No problem with impartiality. But the licence fee will be going up every year, and there'll be even more funding for the government propaganda mouthpiece. There you go. A Labour government would examine the BBC's funding ahead of a review of its current royal charter, which ends in 2027. Yeah. Do you honestly think now, after what we've just read here, that the licence fee will be ended in 2027, or do you think it will be changed to get them more money or to turn it into a media tax or something like that? Labour aren't going to get rid of the licence fee, and hopefully they won't change it so much that we can't like not pay it. Do you know what I mean? If it goes on your council tax, how do you avoid paying it? If it goes on your broadband bill, how do you avoid paying it? You got to have bloody broadband nowadays. Yeah, it's going to be a messy fight the next few years, I think. Labour sources have said the party is open to ideas such as making the licence fee more progressive so that wealthier households pay more. In other words, all households will be paying more. That's what that means there. I just translated that for you. I put it in Google Translate earlier. Ms. Debonair has said she wants to make sure the BBC's funding model is fit for the 21st century and on a sufficient level to allow it to remain a university publicly owned, publicly funded public service broadcaster. Well, Ms. Debonair, fit for the 21st century would mean standing on its own 2 feet. In my book, maybe our books are very different, Ms. Debonair. It is quite a good name. Fit for the 21st century. Stand on your own 2 feet, show ads. Everyone else is showing ads or charging subscription. But the BBC want to continue taxing the people. And they want a sufficient level to allow it to remain a universal, publicly owned, blah, blah, blah. Know what that sounds like? It sounds like they're going to want to do what RTE are doing. Charge it a licence fee and allow the BBC to show ads. They're going to find a way to give the BBC more money. And that way the BBC will be more friendly in its coverage to a Labour government. That's how this works. Everyone rubs each other up the nice way. Cool, it bangs on a bit. Bangs on a bit, this article. It does, in the eye. I'm not going to read. Jesus Christ, here all day. I'm on my lunch break. I ain't got time for all this. If you want to read this whole article, I'll put a link to it down in the description below. I always put a link to these articles in the description below so you can read them for yourself. But I think we know where this is going. I think it sounds like Labour are friendly towards the BBC, and in return, the BBC will be friendly towards a Labour government based on Labour giving them a free pass on a few bits over the impartiality issues that the BBC have had, and some more wedge. Because money talks, doesn't it? The whole thing's about money. No amount of money will be enough money for the BBC. With the £169.50 they currently get, it's about 4 billion quid. Actually, I think it's about 5 billion quid now, isn't it? It's up in that area that they get from licence fee revenue. And they still can't make it stretch. They still have a shortfall on their finances every year. How much money will be enough money, BBC? Well, none. There isn't an amount that will be the right amount of money for you, is there? More. So you can employ more people to do more nothing. Buy more studios in Birmingham, for instance, which you're currently doing, that you don't bloody need. Maybe improve your studio just off Regent Street in London, one of the most expensive parts of the entire country to have an office building. Why? Does that sound like cost saving to you? It doesn't to me. No amount of money will ever be enough for the BBC. So that's why they're going to cozy up with whatever government is in control. My thoughts on it. What are your thoughts on it? While you're clicking that link down there, you can leave your comment, can't you? And hit the buttons and everything as well. So I really want to get to 100,000. I think it'd be cool to get a plaque. Never won anything in my life. Certainly not any golf competitions, that's for sure. So I'd like to have the plaque. So if you haven't already subscribed, please do consider it. Okay? And if you do all that, hopefully I'll see you in another video again soon, won't I? Ta-da.